I think the Red Sox ownership finally realized that they needed to change the chemistry of the team, and by doing so, they had to get rid of the high-priced players, the guys that they didn't believe really fit in, and so they did that in one fell swoop, which was just amazing that they could get rid of Carl Crawford, a guy who never fit in here. Adrian Gonzalez, a guy they certainly liked, but if they could get the top prospects for him, they were willing to do that. They basically wiped the slate clean here. They want to rebuild this team with younger players, with guys who are together for a long time, and that's the only way you can really build good team chemistry rather than pluck guys from free agency here and there and expect them all to come together, as a team right away, and that never happened with these guys. So I think they decided to cut their losses. It's funny, I wrote about a couple of months ago that they should blow it all up, and I was really skeptical as to whether they would, because rebuilding in Boston is very, very difficult, and it really hasn't happened all that often. But I don't think the rebuilding here has to be a real long process. It can be a very short process. In fact, it could even be one off season, and they could be back to being a playoff team again next year. And I think that's what they're banking on. I don't think you're going to see a long-range rebuilding thing here. I think, yes, they will incorporate some of their young players from Pawtucket on the major league team, but I think they'll augment that with some veteran players and feel that they can get back to this thing really quickly. Well, it's interesting that they now have a lot of money available, and I believe there'll be something like $87 million under the luxury tax threshold next year, which is as far below that threshold as they've ever been. If you look at the free agency crop, there really isn't a whole lot out there. I don't believe that they're going to be a huge player for Josh Hamilton. I think he's going to go back to Texas. There aren't any really great free agent pitchers out there. Hiroki Kuroda is one that would be available. Edwin Jackson would be another, but they passed on both of those guys the last offseason. So I think they really want to try to build this thing from within. I think they'll try to pluck a free agent here and there. Nick Swisher, for instance, is a free agent, a guy who could probably help them either in right field or first base, a guy who could hit 25 home runs and knock in 80, 90 runs, a guy like that. But I don't see them going after big name free agents, because I don't think there are any except for Hamilton. The one thing they could do, they do have enough chips now, given all the prospects they acquired in this trade, to be able to make a good sized deal for either an outfielder or a pitcher in the offseason.